Hey guys, and welcome back to another Fox podcast. But this episode is actually just going to be me today. And probably for the next few episodes because everyone, with the holidays and everything, everyone's pretty busy. Can't blame them for that either. But here recently I was actually sitting down and talking to my partner about some of the books from my childhood, and one of them specifically being Deltora Quest. And then I remembered all the other books that I read or was read to by my mother, and just remembered the good days, but also remembered something that we as a society and as a peer person and as people, we have forgotten. And that's the true idea of courage. We always hear about how people are courageous and how these acts of being courageous have transpired through our society, but what is truly courageous? And it kind of got me thinking about all these stories that I used to hear, all these legends and tales, all these just wonderful things that I grew up listening to. And it just reminded me of the simple fact of what courage used to be. Courage used to be something that you had to build up within yourself, and you always had these acts of valor that fell along with it. And it was just something so beautiful, something so serene, something just so potent. And it seems as though nowadays we have forgotten what the true definition of what courage really is. But at the same time, it's not the definition that really matters. It's the courage within itself. And I think within my own life, and I believe I might be able to speaking for a lot of people out there, and its courage within itself is something that has been almost looked down upon. It's shameful to be courageous nowadays, and it's honestly pretty disgusting. Because, through the tales and legends that a lot of us grew up upon, being courageous was meaning facing the darkness of the world and facing the darkness within yourself, not just facing your fears. It's facing the demons that exist. And I think it's a downright shame that people have forgotten, or honestly, forsaken what courage really is. I mean, yeah, there's courageous acts that you can deal with, and you can be courageous to go talk to someone. You can be courageous just sitting down and proposing to someone. It's courage nowadays isn't the same as what it used to be, and it's not the same as it used to be in fairy tales and in our stories of old. And it's honestly really sad to see how far we have fallen as not only a society, but also as people within ourselves. We are no longer actually definitively courageous in any way, shape, and or form. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of people out there that get out in public and sit there in front of a camera and do YouTube and everything else. And we also have people that come out and stand up for what they believe in. But is that actually courageous? Like, really think about it. The true idea of being courageous, the courage, is standing up and fighting for something, fighting for the greater good, and also laying your life on the line. And I honestly feel as though that since we have lost this, since we lost the true idea of what being courageous is, we have fallen to an outstanding point. And I kind of want everyone to think about this for a minute. When was the last time that you were definitively courageous? I mean, textbook definition courageous. When was the last time that you faced every single last fear that you had within your life, or something that you were experiencing, not only for you, but for someone that you care about? And just give me a hot minute. I'm actually going to look up the true definition of being courageous. If I could actually remember how to spell for a minute. And if I could apparently use the proper fucking dictionary software, can we just, look up the definition of what courageous means? So, courageous means not to be deterred by danger or pain, to be brave. And, with that it comes brave, plucky, fearless, valiant, valorous, intrepid, and heroic. And I don't know about you, but nowadays, after I've looked into everything and, I've watched movies, I've read new books, I've gone out and I've watched people, I've met people, I've experienced things, there's not a whole lot of courage really left. And this honestly has been kind of eating at me for a hot minute because none of us can honestly say nowadays, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we are truly courageous. We haven't faced every single last one of our demons because now we have ways to avoid them. We have ways to shut them out. We have anything and everything just to escape the reality of the fact that we aren't being courageous, yet we fall asleep telling ourselves that, yeah, we are courageous. We've done it. We've mastered it. We've taken care of our demons. But in all reality, we really haven't. So I would like to open this up to a full-blown conversation, and I don't know when it's going to happen, mainly because, everything's really freaking expensive nowadays, and I really don't have a whole lot of money coming in, but I'm working on it. I'd really like to open up an actual group chat for a podcast for everyone to sit down and just talk about their idea of courageous and how we can possibly bring back being courageous into our society. And if you feel as though that you aren't courageous enough, I want to give you this challenge. Instead of going out and doing something that you're scared of doing, which, yes, is a form of being courageous, it's being fearless, but truly be heroic. Instead of sitting there and fighting the demons that you're dealing with, how about sit down with your inner child and be a hero for who you would have looked up to when you were young. Become the hero that you would have felt safe around when you were younger. Because in all reality, if you really want to be courageous, you have to be the one person that when you were a child, you would feel safe around. And funny enough, that'll lead you over to who you truly are. So instead of sitting here saying that you're going to be courageous and then go screw off and go on a TikTok or anything else that's going to distract you from your reality, actually sit down and talk with yourself for a minute and figure out who you really are and how to be courageous for your inner self. And find that strength. Find that hero that lives within you. And see how far you can go. And please, anyone who's willing to join in on the chat, and I'm almost tempted to do a live stream of it if I can find a way to do it, put it down in the comment section. I really want to hear back from people on this. Or just put down in the comment section what you have done recently that you feel as though is courageous. And don't be afraid of judgment. If there is any kind of judgment on my page, I'm not going to tolerate it. My page is a safe space for everyone, and I will not put up with it. So if you're going to bring hatred and shame and honestly bullshit over to it, stay away from the comments. But if you want to build yourself up to be the best person that you can and actually pursue being courageous, put something down in the comments section and I will respond to you. And remember, you always have the choice of being courageous. It's whether or not you're willing to actually do what needs to be done to become that hero and to feel that courage once more.